Hey there everyone, this is Michael Zugel, the Nootropic Reviewer, and during this video you're going to learn about my favorite nootropics to improve your mood and build more happiness, because we really can just take our baseline happiness and improve it by about 20 to 30%, and you'll find that stimulants can do that, but these will be some better alternatives for you because what goes up does come down. And if you have used Adderall or high doses of caffeine, of course they're going to boost your mood significantly, but then you have the come down, the crash, you have the appetite suppression, and all those negative side effects. So my favorite of all the nootropics that I've tried over 10 years experience would be lion's mane mushroom. And the way in which lion's mane works is you ingest it, you feel very present, you feel very unattached to the outcome. And the reason why I prefer lion's mane mushroom over other nootropics for improving my happiness is because of the fact that it is such a versatile supplement. So for some nootropics, they can be good if you're working on a 3-month project and you're really focused. And then there's some nootropics that are better when you have some downtime. Maybe you're just not working at all and you're in a little bit of a funk. Lion's mane is great in either scenario because it makes you present, it makes you very calm, you feel unattached to the outcome, you suddenly find yourself being more creative. And it's interesting the way in which it works because as a result of taking lion's mane, you'll find yourself genuinely more curious about things, more curious about people, so you're more likely to actually have an interaction with somebody, give, and not just give to receive, but give to give, and then you feel better as a result. So my preferred form of lion's mane that I like most is the lion's mane 8-to-1 dual extract from Nootropics Depot. And you can try various dosage protocols. Some people prefer taking it twice a day, some people once a day is enough. Once a day wasn't enough for me. I tried twice a day. I also tried 3 times a day. I think twice a day is great. You can go ahead and space it out a little bit, but it wouldn't make too much of a difference if you take it 3 times a day versus having it twice a day. The important thing is getting it from the right vendor, making sure it's a credible source, Nootropics Depot being my favorite. But the other forms of lion's mane, which I used from other vendors, they were still good. I just found that these effects were a little bit more pronounced and I got the cognition benefit that I was looking for. I've been taking this specific form of lion's mane for at least 6 or 7 years now, and no regrets. Everything's better. I've opened up a few different businesses, I think really thanks to the result of using lion's mane, because you periodically need to be zoomed in but also zoom out, and I like that lion's mane does really just help you to see the big picture of things and make you finish the workday feeling somewhat fulfilled because you can connect the day-to-day to what you really want long-term, and that's pretty hard to find in a nootropic supplement. It may not give that quick boost of mood like you may get from taking caffeine or taking something that will boost serotonin like 5-HTP. So the mechanism of action is very interesting. It doesn't matter whether you take it in a fed state or a fasted state. I prefer taking it fasted, but I still do have it with a meal or also ingest it with some coffee. I've talked about the lion's mane benefits in this video over here, and if you want to learn as well just how to take it and be a bit more specific about the dosages, then you can consider watching this video right here. And my second favorite nootropic for being in a better mood, having more happiness, would be Bacopa Monnieri. And this is a super interesting nootropic supplement. It's a herb, it's an adaptogen, meaning that it's a supplement people ingest for the purpose of improving their stress resilience, their stress tolerance, their willingness to actually want to approach stress and have some stress in their life. That's where Bacopa is great. So a lot of people use it for that, but what I didn't expect to feel was even when I'm not stressed, I find Bacopa is really mood promoting. I feel great when I take it. It does take a little bit of time for it to be 100% in your system and you getting all the benefits with respect to an improved memory, and there's so many benefits of Bacopa Monnieri. But when I personally take it, I'm very sensitive to this stuff. I can ingest Bacopa, I suddenly feel more centered. I'm very aware of my environment. I'm aware of my thoughts. Kind of feels like meditation to some extent. You can look at your thoughts and judge your thoughts, and really is mood promoting. As a matter of fact, whenever I stop taking Bacopa, I just find myself a little bit more stressed, enjoying my work a little bit less, and overall finding less happiness, which of course is going to lead to less productivity. And the way you can ingest it is very similar to lion's mane actually. A lot of people start off taking 300 to 500 milligrams of lion's mane, and the same thing can be said with Bacopa, starting off by taking 300 to 500 milligrams. Although with Bacopa, I don't think that the vendor matters as much as lion's mane, but right now I'm using the Synapsa form of Bacopa Monnieri from Nootropics Depot, and the way that I'm taking it is I'm taking 500 milligrams twice a day, and the stuff really works. What's different about Bacopa versus lion's mane is lion's mane unfortunately doesn't have too much scientific research backing the purpose of using lion's mane for cognitive use, whereas Bacopa, there are tons of studies. If you just go to examine.com, where they've nicely done a good job putting all the studies in one place for you to get a good visual of. We can see benefits with instances of forgetting, which brings up an interesting point. Like, a lot of people use Bacopa only to improve their memory, and that's where it is a solid supplement. I've talked a lot about nootropics that can help you to boost your memory, or nootropics that you can consider taking for better grades, better studying, which I've talked about in this video here. And there was a strong emphasis on Bacopa Monnieri because, boy, I did not expect Bacopa to improve my memory. I more so used it for fatigue. I used it for stress management, but that was a really nice benefit that I got alongside. Like, it's great for memory, it's It's great for learning, good for thinking, good for planning, good for mood, but where it's not so great is work ethic. In fact, for a lot of people, they notice that when they ingest Bacopa monnieri, they actually feel somewhat demotivated. They feel a little bit tired. So that's like kind of the major side effect when it comes to Bacopa monnieri. I don't necessarily have that side effect with it, that I get demotivated, but that's also because I use it with a number of different nootropics because they help to kind of offset that fatigue effect, and those other nootropic supplements do help me be a bit more motivated, so I have nothing to worry about as a result. And Bacopa monnieri is a supplement that you'll find in most great nootropic blends out there, Quality of Mind being my favorite. It's also there in some other popular ones that you may have heard of, and that's simply because it really does work. It's pretty noticeable for most people. I've only found like maybe like 20 to 30% of people don't notice Bacopa working, whereas with lion's mane, maybe like 40% or so of people don't notice it working. And you'll find that with nootropics, of course, the effects are very subjective. The effects are going to be variable from one individual to the next, but I can assure you that one of these two supplements should work on you if you're somebody that's considerably sensitive to supplements. They are not stimulants. Don't expect like something to happen immediately, kind of like you would get with caffeine, but I'm somebody that does notice the results of taking Bacopa monnieri and lion's mane. And my next favorite nootropic supplement for increasing my happiness is, it's actually two supplements that are combined in one, and that would be caffeine and L-theanine. Caffeine, we know it to be stimulating, going to give us more physical energy, mental energy, alertness, and what L-theanine does is it does eliminate that anxiety that you may experience from getting caffeine. Because often when you ingest caffeine, you feel a little bit on the edge, you feel a bit anxious, you don't feel as comfortable socially. So L-theanine, it really does help significantly, helping you to be more calm, helping you to be present, helping you to connect with people, and actually be functioning in a social setting. So L-theanine is a very popular supplement, but if you use L-theanine alone, it's a little bit too relaxing for most people, and that's myself, but I still will use it occasionally with caffeine. And what's great about this supplement specifically is that the other two supplements which I discussed, lion's mane and Bacopa monnieri, they may take a bit of time to use, but with caffeine and L-theanine, you ingest it, 30 minutes later, you're going to be in a better mood. Or that's most people anyway, except for the people that just really do respond negatively to caffeine. Caffeine is a supplement, just don't give up on it. There were periods when I got off of caffeine entirely, and then I reintroduced it back in my nootropic stack, and I felt way better, definitely in a better mood. So caffeine and L-theanine is a great supplement to pair together, and the way you'll find it is typically in a capsule of 100 milligrams caffeine, 200 milligrams of L-theanine. That's like the ratio which most people like for productivity. And like I mentioned, it's not something you need to use every day. You can use this supplement when maybe you're a little bit tired, your mood isn't great, then you can expect for it to work, because what we know about caffeine is it is a stimulant, and with stimulants, unfortunately, they do build a bit of a tolerance in our system. But the way that I'm using caffeine and L-theanine now, it's not every week, just some weeks I'll take about 100 milligrams sometime around 3 to 4 p.m. I don't personally take it later than that because caffeine does keep me up at night, and I like the ratio of 1 caffeine to 2 L-theanine. If you have any doubts that you may have some issues with your thyroid, maybe your testosterone levels, be sure to get those levels checked, because I had low testosterone in the past, I had low thyroid in the past, and no nootropic supplement will make up for a limited thyroid or a limited testosterone. So make sure everything's working, make sure that you're ingesting enough vitamin B, vitamin D as well. I ingest fish oil at 1 teaspoon a day, typically a serving, which is high on EPA and high on DHA, which are very important for you to look out for. You get a lot of other benefits too, like joint health, like better cardio. I've been able to run 3 times a week now thanks to ingesting more fish oil and actually fish in my diet. And this whole topic of nootropics that you can take to improve your happiness would not be complete without addressing ashwagandha and how I feel about it. For me personally, I haven't found that it's made me any happier. Perhaps it's made me enjoy my work a little bit more, but we have to be mindful that with ashwagandha, it does have some side effects, specifically being that it can be demotivating, like with Bacopa monnieri, and the fact that it does increase levels of thyroid, like your T3, your T4. It may slightly decrease your TSH as well. Be sure to talk to your general practitioner about that to make sure you understand whether or not you can ingest ashwagandha. For me anyway, the reason that I don't say that it boosted my happiness necessarily is because of the fact, like, I'm in sales, it's a 100% commission-based job. I'm kind of happy, unfortunately, based on the results that I'm getting in my sales. So if I'm using ashwagandha, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I'm not working as hard. Sure, I may enjoy the experience, but 3 months later, when I don't have as much money in my bank account as I would like, I will point the finger back to ashwagandha and blame it on that for me being in a worse mood as a result. So it depends on who you are, but I would think for most people, they find that ingesting ashwagandha does overall improve their happiness. So you'll get to learn about that, and I've talked about ashwagandha's side effects in this video right over here. You might find that informative. What are your favorite nootropics for improving your happiness levels? Be sure to drop a comment below, and hey, if you did get value from this video, consider subscribing, drop a like, share with someone. I really appreciate it. And if you would like to chat with me one-on-one, you can do so over on Patreon, or send me a direct message on Instagram so we can chat one-on-one. And be sure to check out our Discord server, which has a 24/7 chat room. We're adding a lot of value, having a lot of fun. It'd be great to have you in the community, and I'll look forward to seeing you all next time.